wifey always wins out over the mistress in the end. Always. A husband is stepping out on his wife of however many years. The girl's younger, maybe slightly more attractive. She gives him that rush he's been missing in his marriage. She's new. As the adulterous adventure goes on, and he realizes the mistress is starting to catch real feelings. She starts to ask, when are you going to leave her? Do I mean anything to you? The whole gamut. And he whispers the sweet nothings in her ear. And that's all it is. Sweet nothings. But eventually she gets fed up and she gives him the dilemma. It's me or it's her. I'm sick of this. What does he do? He drops her. He drops her and goes back to wifey. He goes back to the known. A stable home. An already built foundation. Where he's most comfortable. Where he doesn't have to rebuild. Mistress, while it was fun while it lasted, is out of the picture. And so is Jimmy Garoppolo. See, the Patriots held on to him for as long as they could. They were banking on their marriage with Tom Brady to go into the dirt as he grew older. But he seems to be aging like fine wine. His play has shown no signs of slippage. And Garoppolo, the mistress, gave the Patriots a dilemma, indirectly. Contract is up after this year. And you know I'm not going to say unless you commit to me. Wifey's getting old. I'm the hot youth. You can lust after all you want. But how is this going to affect the family? Bill Belichick and Tom Brady started this thing together. They birthed 5 kids, Super Bowl rings. And just last year into this year, the bond has been as strong as ever on the field. I know we got the reports off the field, but yeah. I'm not going to get rid of that. So if you're so hell-bent on making me decide right now with your contract ending, I'm going to get something out of you while I can before you leave. You see, you came in knowing what it was. I brought you into my life, Jimmy G, while I had a good thing going on. I thought it might have gone somewhere. But ultimately, I love Tom Brady too much, and he's given me no reason to stop loving him. But just in case I do decide to step out on him again and entertain other attractive options, I'm going to let you go. For the same price I brought you in for. A second round pick. Life really does come full circle. Some major trades happening at the deadline this week. Obviously, the big one being Jimmy Garoppolo going to the 49ers for a second rounder. He's got a coach with a good reputation in Kyle Shanahan. And not much else. We've got 6 quarters of regular season film on Jimmy G, and he's going to a team that's rebuilding. Good luck. But you know, the thing about mistresses is that they're usually free spirits. It's not like he has to commit to the 49ers long term after this year. Jimmy G can literally strut his stuff down the street this year when he plays in San Fran and look average, and he can make another watchful eye fall for him. So it all works out. The Miami Dolphins and the Philadelphia Eagles also got in on the trade action, sending Jay Ajayi to Philly in exchange for a 4th rounder. Jay Ajayi for the year has 465 yards, 3.4 per, no touchdowns. In fact, the Miami Dolphins as a team have not scored a rushing touchdown all year. Fascinating. The Eagles are the best team in football right now, so I guess naturally you'd have to think it's a better situation for Jay Ajayi going to the 5th-ranked rushing team in the league. It's a case of the rich getting richer, and I'm sure his rugged running style will be a welcome addition in Philly, the mean, tough streets of Philly. As long as he's addressed the fumbling issue he had last year, good for them. I mean, I'm not going to complain. Kelvin Benjamin is headed to Buffalo in exchange for a 3rd and a 7th round pick. I don't like this move. For Buffalo, sure, it gives Tyrod a big target to throw to. But for Cam is inaccurate as hell. Naturally, you'd think you'd want an inaccurate quarterback like Cam to have receivers who can pull down those 50-50 balls and give him a huge catch radius to throw to. Kelvin Benjamin has had weight and consistency issues, and apparently FS1 analyst Chris Carter is coming out saying soft field issues too. But he is Carolina's best receiving threat outside of Greg Olsen, who's been injured. Carolina tried changing the offense for Cam. They drafted a running back way too high that really doesn't fit in with Cam. And now they traded away a big body target for the inaccurate quarterback. Is this the beginning of the end for Cam Newton in Carolina? Cam hasn't been what they thought he could be outside of his MVP year. Idiotic sexist statements, immaturity that lost him an endorsement. This comes in an ever so increasingly PC culture despite our president. Are the Panthers starting to give up on Cam Newton? Are they starting to lose faith? This is something we definitely need to keep a close eye on. I'm Milton Woolley. You're now listening to The Pylon. Deshaun Watson, Deshaun Brady, Deshaun Michael Jordan, Deshaun Manning, Deshaun Rodgers. Let me stop. The rookie out of Clemson and Russell Wilson put on a game for the ages. Deshaun stood toe-to-toe with not only one of the best quarterbacks in the league, but also one of the best defenses we've ever seen. In fact, he lit that defense up. 4 touchdowns, over 400 yards passing, 63 completion percentage. He had the 3 turnovers, yeah. But he took them to the brink. The Seattle Seahawks, a major Super Bowl contender in the NFL. 38-41 against one of the best defenses ever. Garnered praise from one of the best cornerbacks in the game, Richard Sherman. It's Deshaun's world. We're all living in it. When Mitch Trubisky was taken number 1 overall, the group I was with on draft night let out a collective, what the hell? Patrick Mahomes, who I still think he's going to be good when he gets his chance, got picked. What the hell? Then number 12 comes along and Deshaun is finally picked. Potentially the best quarterback in the league next year, taken 12th overall, behind a guy who's on the bench and a guy who should be on the bench, The Houston Texans have arrived. Finally. Legitimate Super Bowl contender. One of the best receivers in the league, DeAndre Hopkins. Legit deep threat, Will Fuller. Third ranked running game in the league right now. Fedorowicz. Could do better on defense, but still some nice pieces on that unit. And then Deshaun Watson got hurt. Hurricane Harvey wipes out Houston this summer. From what I've read, it could take years to, fully rebuild. Oh, but wait! The Houston Astros, they finally win the World Series in 7 games. Hope. Positivity. Deshaun Watson goes down in practice with a torn ACL. Absolutely devastating. Does the NFL have an injury problem? I don't want to jump the gun because injuries happen, and it is not good when Aaron Rodgers, Odell Beckham, Andrew Luck, now put on IR, and now your next up-and-coming quarterback is out for the year. All this research is being put into concussions, even though it really doesn't seem like the players really like it, because it encourages defenders to go after the knees. They can brace for a headshot. They can't brace for their knees getting blown out. I bring this up to say the funding and research going into concussions, maybe that can also go towards getting better fields. Maybe. Guys are bigger, more explosive than ever. When they plant, it is forceful. I'm sure sports science can come up with a crazy number that shows how many pounds of force these guys put into the ground when they plant, and they're only getting more explosive. So I don't know. Maybe research into how to improve field conditions, work with shoe companies, and maybe improve the insoles of the shoes if you can. I don't know. I'm not a scientist. Concussions, we can pretend we take them seriously, but we really don't. Let's be real. Players don't take it seriously. And they aren't worried about it until they get one. And the players that are genuinely concerned for their brain health usually end up retiring early anyway. So, no athlete likes getting their knees blown out, because that just saps their explosion, the thing that got them into the league. They may have to come back wearing a brace that restricts their movement. I'm just saying, researching on how to improve the knees, the lower bodies of players would be more fruitful for the NFL right now, so you don't lose guys for months at a time. Hell, you want to protect quarterbacks, you have all of these passing camps for use around the league for quarterbacks. Why not put more emphasis on grooming offensive linemen to protect your premier position, your moneymaker? Because as a whole, blocking in the NFL isn't all that great right now. You see all these stars getting hurt from the pelvis down in most cases. Why not work to ensure knee health? Because that's what makes these guys so fun to watch. Their pelvis down. Just got news of Ezekiel Elliott getting permission to play against the Chiefs. Let me ask you guys something. If you're Ezekiel Elliott in the NFLPA, do you stop fighting it? I know as a black male in America, you don't want domestic violence attached to your name. But the NFL isn't letting up on this. And at the end of the day, they are a private entity. And the players signed off on the league basically controlling everything. Like, what else can they do? We're only about halfway through the season, and the Cowboys have a brutal stretch coming up. If you're Zeke, do you just stomach the suspension and come back final 3 games at Oakland, against the Seahawks, at Philly, keep yourself in ultimate shape during the suspension, but in the meantime concede the division to Philadelphia and just come back the final 3 games and secure a playoff spot? Me personally, I'm not Ezekiel Elliott, but just me personally, I do it. One thing about me, I know when I'm beaten. When there's nowhere else to turn, the situation is what it is. I just live to fight another day and plan from there. Because, see, you don't want to keep prolonging this. Then, if you do happen to get a playoff spot, this pops up again, and now you're suspended for some playoff games. That's the last thing you want. The king knows when he's beaten. The NFL isn't going to let this go. They did it with the ambassador of the league, Tom Brady. Ezekiel Elliott, you're just some second-year kid with a square head and a charming smile. You're just still a spoke on the wheel, just like every other player is. It's time to pack it in. Stomach it. Hope your season isn't lost while you're gone. And in that time Zeke would be gone. You moved on from Tony Romo because you thought Dak could be the guy to lead you. So trust in him and let him do it. That's all for today. Yeah, this is a very, very intriguing weekend going into this upcoming weekend for the NFL. A lot of big storylines to follow. Been trying to keep up with you guys as much as I can. I'm in my last semester of school. Bear with me. I just started a full-time job, so I'm running around with that, trying to finish these last-minute assignments. But I am still keeping up. I'm for the people, which is why I'm doing these podcasts instead of doing individual videos or whatever. I'm just gonna give you the whole dinner plate whenever y'all hear from me. Stay tuned. I'm Milton Woolley. You have now listened to another edition of The Pylon.